Today on Public Eye News, the Michigan Department of Transportation hosts a public hearing for roadside facilities. But first, a federal court has dismissed the Right to Life's Prop 3 lawsuit.
Coming up, Bianca Kroll will have your weather forecast, where we'll take a look at conditions throughout the week. Later, Luke Nettle will bring you today's sports breakdown. I'm Kieran Healy.
And I'm Jacob Heston. This is Public Eye News. A federal court has dismissed a challenge to Michigan's constitutional amendment protecting reproductive freedom. The lawsuit, brought by Right to Life of Michigan and other groups, sought to overturn Proposal 3, which voters approved in 2022. Plaintiffs argued the measure violated several provisions of the U.S. Constitution, but the court ruled they lacked legal standing to pursue the case. With the dismissal, all claims have been thrown out and the amendment remains in place. That means protections for reproductive rights in Michigan's Constitution continue to stand, and state leaders say they will keep defending these provisions against future challenges. Also in today's news, a proposed $50 million infrastructure grant to support the Copperwood Mine project in Michigan's western Upper Peninsula was left out of the state's latest budget. Despite this setback, regional leaders and economic development groups remain committed to advancing the mine. The funding was intended to upgrade roads, power, and telecommunications needed to support mining and related industries. Backers say the project still commands growing momentum, with dozens of local governments, institutions, and officials lining up to support. The Copperwood Mine is among only a few fully permitted greenfield copper projects in the U.S., which are engineered to meet Michigan's strict environmental standards. Advocates argue it offers a chance to reverse economic decline in the region through new jobs and revenue. While the absence of state funding poses a hurdle, the community continues to press forward with plans and partnerships to make the vision a reality.
The Michigan Department of Transportation is updating its rules for state-operated roadside parks and facilities and is asking for feedback in the coming weeks. The proposed rule changes include clarification on allowing overnight stays for a maximum of 48 hours, but prohibiting camping, and providing guidance on service animals at parks and in buildings. MDOT is set to host a virtual public hearing to cover all of the updated rule suggestions and allow for public comment at the end of the meeting. Additionally, Michiganders can submit their feedback via an online comment form up until November 20th. The virtual sessions will be on October 22nd with an afternoon and evening time slot. More information can be found at michigan.gov/MDOT. Beaver Island could be getting an extended doe hunting season after the Michigan DNR has proposed an additional 20 days to help control the deer population. The extension would go into effect for the 2026 hunting season and allow for firearm hunting in both early and late antlerless deer seasons. While the main reason for the extension is to address the overpopulation of deer and promote forest regeneration on Beaver Island, the DNR also says it would simplify the current regulations in Charlevoix County. The public is invited to send their comments to DNR wildlife biologist Jeremy Wood via email, which can be found on their website. The federal government shutdown has entered its 6th day with no end in sight. Today, U.S. senators are expected to vote on a bill that could reopen the government. Jared Hill of CBS News has the latest from Washington.
Today, another effort to end the government shutdown. The U.S. Senate is set to return to D.C. for more votes on short-term spending bills.
The Democrats just need to open up the government. I'm hoping that some of them have a change of heart.
Over the weekend, the political blame game continued as Republicans push to fund the government as is. Meanwhile, Democrats are dug in on demanding that the bill add provisions to protect subsidies under the Affordable Care Act as well as Medicaid.
We will not support a partisan Republican spending bill that continues to gut the health care of the American people.
We want to fix it so it works.
Yesterday, President Trump and Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson said they want to look at ways to address federal health care subsidies, but after the shutdown ends.
We're not saying that we won't negotiate it. We're saying turn the lights back on in Congress.
Democrats who see the shutdown as their only leverage are skeptical.
We've been trying for months and months to sit down with them and have a serious conversation addressing America's health care needs. And they've refused and refused and refused.
Meanwhile, President Trump is doubling down on his threat to fire federal workers.
Anybody laid off, that's because of the Democrats.
Though the layoffs are up to his discretion. This comes as a new CBS News poll shows that many Americans are concerned the shutdown could affect the economy, while most disapprove of how the president and congressional Republicans and Democrats are handling it. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Now don't touch that dial. Bianca Kroll will be back with a weather report after the break. Stay tuned.
The beat of a drum, the firing of clay, and the fluid movement of dance can artfully express the feelings and emotions. On After Action, we talk with 3 veterans who are helping their peers find their voice and their piece through the art.
And so you slowly find that these individuals start to operate like everybody else.
3 of us, our mission is to bring veterans back to their creative self, which to me is an expression of our highest self.
Monday night at 9 on WNMU TV.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Bianca Kroll, and here's our weather segment for today. Looking at the campus cam behind me here, it's looking like it's a little sunny, a little cloudy. Marquette really can't make up its mind. Now if we look into the map of the Upper Peninsula here, if we start off in Houghton, it is 58 and mostly cloudy. In Ironwood, 54 with some sunny skies. Iron Mountain, 57 with some mostly cloudy skies. And in beautiful Menominee, 59 and cloudy. We're moving over to the other side of the map here. Same conditions continuing on in Escanaba, Manistee with 58. And Sault Ste. Marie, 53 rainy conditions. And back here in Marquette, it is 54 and mostly sunny. If we're looking into those conditions a little further, the winds are north at 10 miles per hour and our barometric pressure is 30.12 inches and rising. And if we're looking into tonight's conditions, it's going to be rainy with a low 46, the winds west at 5 miles per hour. And we're looking at a freeze watch for tonight, and our moon phase is a full moon. Now, if we're looking into tomorrow, we're going to see some sunny skies with a high of 57, a low of 42, and the winds west at 5 miles per hour. And if we're looking ahead into the week, on Wednesday, a high of 57 with some sunny conditions and a low of 42. Thursday, 63 with those same conditions and a low of 49. And on Friday, a high of 61 with some mostly sunny conditions and a low of 49. That's all I have for weather. Now back to the desk.
Thank you, Bianca, for that weather report. Looks like it's finally cooling down in the UP. Moving into statewide news, the Michigan legislature and Governor Gretchen Whitmer have approved a bipartisan state budget. Amid statements from both Upper Peninsula Republicans and the governor's office outlining priorities moving ahead, UP legislators say the new deal trims overall state spending and shifts resources towards road repair. They highlight reforms meant to eliminate ghost employees, unused buildings, and other so-called waste, redirecting those savings into infrastructure and local roads funding, which especially benefits rural areas. Meanwhile, Governor Gretchen Whitmer's office describes the budget as a balanced bipartisan package aimed at repairing roads over the long term, boosting per pupil funding in schools, and preserving health care protections, as well as implementing tax relief for seniors and working families. Observers point out that the road funding mechanism includes adjustments in fuel tax structure and a wholesale tax on cannabis, while some earlier economic incentives are being scaled back. Michigan's Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy, or EGLE, is asking the public to help inform where surface water quality monitoring should take place in 2026. The EGLE Watering Resources Division is asking suggestions for watersheds across Michigan, with particular priority given to areas identified in its Basin Year 3 watersheds map. The initiative aims to assess whether waters are meeting state water quality standards and evaluate how well restoration and protection efforts are working, as well as detecting new and emerging water quality problems. Anyone may submit a targeted monitoring request. The deadline for suggestions is October 31st, 2025. While all requests will be considered, EGLE notes that factors such as budget, staff availability, and exiting priorities will influence which monitoring projects move ahead. Families from the Central Upper Peninsula gathered in the Superior Dome over the weekend to watch the most anticipated game of the season for the Central UP Youth Football League. If there's one thing these athletes have in common, it's their love for the game. Emma Moratz of Public Eye News has the story.
Athletes from across the UP, including Iron Mountain, Kingsburg, and West Iron County, have traveled to play in the iconic Superior Dome, where Northern Michigan University's Division II collegiate athletes have their home games. In this penultimate game before the Doug Showers Championship, teams get to fine-tune their skills and showcase their prowess on the field. According to Secretary of the League, Sandy Lefebvre,
the kids really love to come here. It's such a neat experience. You see little kids walk in here and wide-eyed looking up at the ceiling, and it's just a very cool experience for the kids to get to play on a college football field.
A mother of 2 players for Kingsford's Forever Fitness, Chelsea Thorensen, shared her take on what it means to watch her boys take the field each week.
It just creates this whole new atmosphere for them. It brings so much more motivation for them. It's just an awesome place for them to experience football.
Caden and Cameron Thorensen, 2 players on Kingsford's Forever Fitness, shared their thoughts on what it feels like to play in the Dome.
It's a really good experience. I love being in the Dome, playing on the turf.
It's just a fun thing to play in. Glad they gave us a chance to do this.
With the football clock slowly ticking down, teams are looking for a strong finish to their year. This stands as one final opportunity for teams to grow stronger together. Reporting from Marquette, Michigan for Public Eye News, I'm Emma Morantz.
Now, after this short break, Luke Niddle will be back with a Wildcat triple-header sports report that you won't want to miss. Stay tuned.
In our biotech ecosystem, one might ask, what would have happened if there was no Phil Sharp?
In creating treatments for the disease, Phil's laboratories led the way.
He would walk through the lab and do this. Any breakthroughs today?
I would say he wanted to win, yes.
I wasn't a stronger student, not even close, but I turned out to be very imaginative.
Cracking the Code, Phil Sharp and the Biotech Revolution on PBS and the PBS app.
Welcome back to Public Eye Sports. My name is Luke Niddle, and I'll be taking you through our Monday breakdown. Leading off on the ice, it was a historic weekend for the Wildcats in Amherst, taking on UMass, with junior netminder William Grama leading a record-breaking debut, leading to a CCHA Goaltender of the Week nod. The Wisconsin transfer stopped 107 shots in total Saturday and Sunday, including 65 in Game 1. That mark and his 34 in the first period alone stand as the second most period and total saves in a single game in the modern NCAA, going back to 2004. Grame shattered the NMU's weekend saves record of 92, previously held by Jeff Poschel, set in 1984. The Wildcats will continue their opening season road trip, heading to Columbus to take on the number 16 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. And moving over to the pitch, it was a heartbreaker at home as the Wildcat women's soccer team allowed 3 goals in the final half hour against Saginaw Valley State and relinquished a 3-0 lead to an eventual 3-3 tie. Playing with the wind of their backs the first half, 2 big shots by Hannah Kestamo and Madison Bilbia gave Northern a comfortable 2-0 lead heading into the break. A third one in the back of the nylon by Irene Kielinen seemed to all but seal the deal for a dominant GLIAC win. SVSU had other ideas, however, as a flurry of goals, including a miraculous last-minute equalizer, capped off the improbable comeback. Northern will now try and shake off the tie and prep for Michigan Tech this Sunday at home for a 3 o'clock kickoff. Speaking of football, the NMU men's team picked up a big GLIAC win at St. Cloud State with a 2-0 victory over the Huskies. A handball call that gave NMU a penalty shot allowed Luca Rosen to bury one past Rami Atia for a goal number 1 of the afternoon, 25 minutes in. Ian Weimer benefited from some outstanding passes for goal number 2 of the affair, a header with under 5 minutes to play. Wildcat shotstopper Asaph Crystal earned shutout number 4 of the season with 4 stops, paving the way for conference win number 2 of the year. The Cats pack up from Minnesota and head home for SVSU Friday. That's all I have for sports. Back to the desk.
Thank you, Luke, for that sports report. I'm really looking forward to this girls soccer team coming up in the next week. I heard they play on Saturday.
Yeah, I believe it's Sunday against Michigan Tech. But yes, no, exciting stuff. Hopefully they can make it back to the tournament this season. I've really been cheering them on.
I agree.
And just in time to enjoy the fall weather, NMU is hosting its 2nd annual Mind Over Miles 5K on Thursday. The race will begin at the Wildcat statue in front of Jamrich Hall and take the runners on a loop through campus. NMU Wellbeing organized this race with the goal of helping the community celebrate World Mental Health Day. And while registration has closed, those looking to support can still sign up to volunteer.
Mental Health Day is one of the most important things that we can talk about now, and I think it's really great that we've come together as a community to be more responsible about that kind of thing. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the volunteer is a great opportunity. I would have loved to sign up myself for the 5K, but not able to make it.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, 5K
but yeah,
is a long way.
Yeah, it is. But volunteering, I think it's a great option. There's other events that they're hosting. They have a Toolkit Tuesday that's happening tomorrow as well. So there's tons of opportunities.
Well, that seems to be all the time we have for Public Eye News. My name is Jacob Heston.
I'm Kieran Healy.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.